Firstly, when it comes to the economy, this was a statement made some time ago in an interview by Sir Evelyn de Rothschild, who, well, many believe is the head of the Illuminati even, but he's certainly the financial advisor to the Queen and also to the Vatican. So he has a fair bit of knowledge, whether you like him or not, and I think this statement is quite telling.
Television, as you have some very bright people the other day who said, which I agree with completely, the stock market doesn't really reflect the economy of a country.
The Rothschild family has been at the head of the banking system for a long time, and when they speak it is worthwhile listening. I think the general public perception is that when the stock market's going up, the economy must be doing well, and when it starts going down, people start worrying. But what if all markets are now so manipulated by central forces?
You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers, so that when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say, you won't have to risk life and gold. Hampshire, here in Frankfurt, will just send a letter to Nathan in London saying, pay so-and-so. And that will be offset by loans from London to Frankfurt. You understand?
Yes.
In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds.
Don't talk anymore, the doctor.
I'm giving advice to our sons, Mama, that the doctor cannot give. Remember, unity is strength. All your lives you must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family, the Rothschild.
I've been told you knew about Napoleon's abdication 2 days before the War Office did.
Well, we've no choice.
I accept. I say yes without hesitation.
Complete advance?
Very well.
To save time, I had this little contract drawn.
Mr. Rothschild, forgive me, but while rumors reach the exchange that Wellington has been defeated.
Wellington victorious at Waterloo. Napoleon defeated. The war is over.
England is deeply grateful to her adopted son.
To walk the world.
That whether they go up or they go down bears little resemblance to what's really going on in the economy of a country and the economy as a whole. I want to play you some clips of Donald Trump speaking before the 2016 election about the stock market and the American economy.
We have the worst revival of an economy since the Great Depression. And believe me, we're in a bubble right now. And the only thing that looks good is the stock market. But if you raise interest rates even a little bit, that's going to come crashing down. We are in a big, fat, ugly bubble. And we better be awfully careful. And we have a Fed that's doing political things. This Janet Yellen of the Fed. The Fed is doing political by keeping the interest rates at this level. And believe me, the day Obama goes off and he leaves and he goes out to the golf course for the rest of his life to play golf, when they raise interest rates, you're going to see some very bad things happen because the Fed is not doing their job. The Fed is being more political than Secretary Clinton.
Look, interest rates are artificially low. If interest rates ever seek a natural level, which obviously would be much higher than they are right now, you have some very scary scenarios out there. I mean, the only reason the stock market's where it is because you get free money. I mean, me too. I'm offered loans. I have very few loans now. I've paid off large amounts of debt. But I'll tell you what, I get offered loans from banks at almost nothing. You feel foolish not taking the money.
So before the election, Donald Trump was saying that a high stock market was a bubble and it wasn't a good thing for the economy. And then, look, the US debt clock now, as of today, is almost $22 trillion in debt, according to the US Debt Clock website. And that, of course, doesn't take into account the missing $21 trillion that's unaccounted for, which I won't go into that here because that's a whole other subject. But now have a listen to what Donald Trump said about the debt before the election.
Reduce our $18 trillion in debt because, believe me, we're in a bubble.
But whoa, hold on a second, Donald. Didn't you say $18 trillion was a bubble that needs reducing? And yet now it's $22 trillion under your presidency. What's going on?
We have artificially low interest rates. We have a stock market that, frankly, has been good to me, but I still hate to see what's happening. We have a stock market that is so bloated. Be careful of a bubble, because what you've seen in the past might be small potatoes compared to what happens. So be very, very careful.
Trump's words pre-election there were spot on, actually. So they are very contradictory to his current position, however, saying that the bubble could implode, basically, and that it could be far worse than anything we've seen before. And yet now, his words are quite different.
We broke a very, very big barrier, 25,000. And there were those that say we wouldn't break 25,000 by the end of the 8th year. And we're in the 11th month. We broke 25,000 just as we came in. Now, I have to be a little careful because as we walk out, maybe it goes down. The stock market is up very, very big today. We've set new records, and I think they'll be continued to set.
Fastest 1,000-point move in history. This is all about making America great again. Agenda. Jobs, 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 $6 trillion in value.
The stock market is way up again today, and we're setting a record literally all the time. And I'm telling you, we have a long way to go. Warren Buffett sold airlines a little while ago. He's been right his whole life, but sometimes even somebody like Warren Buffett, I have a lot of respect for him, they make mistakes. They should have kept the airline stocks because the airline stocks went through the roof today, and others did too. The whole market went through the roof. But they said 9 million job losses, 9 million. It's what's going to be. Are we going to break 20%? Are we going to break it? And then the numbers came in, and one of the folks that was reading the numbers said, wow, this is a great number. It's only 3 million job losses. And then reading it and said, you know, I don't think this, I'm not reading this right. Let me look at it again. Oh, wait a minute. This is 3 million gain almost. 3 million jobs gained. And then they shouted out, one of them sort of semi-shouted out, is this a typo? I think it was probably the greatest miscalculation in the history of business shows, talking about Wall Street. And that's okay. But one of the reasons we're in this position is because we had such a strong foundation. The stock market is up almost 50% since my election. Had the Democrat won, I believe you would have been down 50%. We've set 84 records since my election, record stock market prices, meaning we hit new highs 84 different times out of a one-year period. The stock market is smashing one record after another and has added more than $7 trillion in new wealth since my election. The stock market has smashed one record after another, gaining $8 trillion and more in value in just this short period of time.
Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. The president must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
Abdad Livid. Abdad Livid. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard. I ain't going nowhere.
목표 식별 능력이 대단히 높다고 하시면서 커다란 만족을 표시.
So I think many of Trump's words pre-election were actually the truth, but now he's singing a different tune, and we've seen the stock market go down big and then recover big, in fact swinging wildly in the last few months up and down, which is not, well, wild swings are not an indication of health, put it that way.
I think the Fed is out of control. I think what they're doing is wrong. I think the Fed is far too stringent, and they're making a mistake, and it's not right. And it's, despite that, we're doing very well, but it's not necessary, in my opinion. And I think I know about it better than they do, believe me. No, I'm not going to fire him. I'm just disappointed at the clip. I think it's far too fast, far too rigid, far too fast.
One person whom I think has a very good handle on the economy and what's truly going on is Brandon Smith from altmarket.com. And on 20th of December 2018, he wrote and posted an article called The Psychological Warfare Behind Economic Collapse. I just want to go down that article away and read a section of it. The current system was never built to last. Our economy is designed to fail, yet few people seem to question why that is. They tell themselves that this is because greed has led the money elite to self-sabotage. But this is a fantasy. It is not just that the system is designed to fail, but that it is designed to fail according to an organised timetable. The globalist magazine The Economist announced in 1988 the coming of a one-world currency system, one that would be launched in 2018 and that would require the decline of the US economy and the dollar to open the door to the reset. It is no coincidence that we are now witnessing the beginning of a major financial crash in the last quarter of 2018. This crash was engineered starting in 2008 by central banks, first through the inflation of a historic bubble and encompassing almost all asset classes using stimulus measures and near zero interest rates, and it is being imploded today by the same central banks using tightening measures into economic weakness. It is also no coincidence that the globalists have announced in 2018 that their intention is to adapt to a digital monetary system using blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. That is to say, the one world currency system predicted in The Economist is already here. They are only waiting for a crisis large enough to pressure society to accept total global centralization as a solution. Forcing the public to embrace worldwide centralisation would require several measures. First, the current system, which as stated is designed to fail, would have to be allowed to crash. Second, the crash would have to be blamed on someone other than the globalists and the ideology of globalism. Third, philosophical opponents of globalism, i.e. conservatives, nationalists, decentralisation activists, would have to be demonised or eliminated so that the globalists can build their new world order without opposition. Fourth, the population would need to be sufficiently traumatised to the point of psychological submission and desperation so that when the new system is introduced, they will be grateful for it, thus preventing further rebellion by making the public a willing cooperator in their own enslavement. Sir Evelyn de Rothschild was the head of The Economist magazine when that 1988 cover with the Phoenix was put out.
We have an incredible opportunity to create entirely new sustainable industries, investing in nature as the true engine of our economy.
I will show you on the Georgia Guidestones exactly where you can find the adversary. So the first commandment on the Georgia Guidestones is to maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. And nature is not a, well, there's the adversary right there. That's why Freemasons can tell you their secrets in books, because they don't think you understand them in the first place, so they're not afraid to tell you what their secrets are. But if you know who they're talking about, then there's a problem for them.
For beauty is eternal, and we bow to beauty everlasting. For lasting happiness, return to one alone, and she surrounds you now. Great nature, refuge of the weary heart, and only balm for breasts that have been bruised. She hath cool hands for every favored brow, and gentlest silence for the troubled soul. The counsels are most wise. She healeth well, having such ministries as calm and sleep. She is ever faithful. Other friends may fail, but seek ye her in any quiet place. Smiling, she will rise and give to you her kiss. So must ye come as children. Little children that believe nor ever doubt her beauty and her faith, nor deem her tenderness can change or die.
Changing our current trajectory will require bold and imaginative action, together with determination and decisive leadership. In order to secure our future and to prosper, we need to evolve our economic model, putting people and planet at the heart of global value creation. If there is one critical lesson we have to learn from this crisis, we need to put nature at the heart of how we operate. We are on the verge of catalytic breakthroughs that will alter our view of what is possible and profitable within the framework of a sustainable future. We need nothing short of a paradigm shift, one that inspires action at revolutionary levels and pace. We simply cannot waste any more time. The only limit is our willingness to act. And the time to act is now.
Vote me one. Vote me one. Vote me one. Shame on. Shame on. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
damage. Last night's storm ripped the Acuity flag in Sheboygan. This is the largest free-flying American flag in the world. Look at this. The storm split the 340-pound flag in two. A gust of 66-mile-per-hour winds tore through that area last night.
This can't go on forever. Now, how quickly it'll implode, who knows? I think they will try and implode it in a orderly fashion so they can bring in their new system, but the fact of the matter is it's not going to last forever, and you should be doing what you can now to prepare for what is going to inevitably come. The bubble of everything, not just the stock market, but pretty much everything, was deliberately created by the Federal Reserve and central bankers, and it will be imploded so that they can bring in their new system.
1596, 1598, 1600. Sweet. Excellent question. Yes, I am proud to be America's first straight female president. Helen?
Wasn't I wearing a hat?
Yes, you were. Now, in conclusion, my administration will focus on the 3 R's. Reading, writing, and refilling the ocean. Thank you very much. As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
We're broke.
The country is broke? How can that be?
Well, remember when the last administration decided to invest in our nation's children? Big mistake.
The Balanced Breakfast program just created a generation of ultra-strong super criminals.
And Midnight Basketball taught them to function without sleep.
What about my pledge to build the world's largest bookmobile? Isn't there any money left for that?
No, and we borrowed from every country in the world.
Quick, Lisa, call off your... Bart! Ow! Watch the ponytail. Let him up, please. What are you doing here?
I knew you'd need some help keeping it real, so I figured I could be, like, your co-president.
Co-president? Are you crazy?
Mom, Lisa won't share. Be nice to your brother, Lisa. Don't you think we should wait for Lisa? She is the president.
She knows what time dinner is.
Sorry I'm late. I've been racking my brain trying to think of something to cut from the budget.